Hi Crafty friend, it's Justine. I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to show you a ton of cards with the Serenade of Autumn collection. I have 3 in the wings that I've already made. I'm making one 5x7 card right away. And then I'll make some A2 size card, a mini slimline. I have a lot going on here because I've loved this collection. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And then I'll tell you kind of what is all in the collection as I go. But I just knew that I had to do a 5x7 card because I ended up with these beautiful scraps. And these scraps came from doing some watercolor with the watercolor resist paper that came in the collection. Do you see how pretty that is? Oh, I could not just throw it away. And this one too with the butterflies. And then some really pretty scrap pattern paper. So I could not throw it away. I could not just let it go somewhere else, like in the scrap bin. I had to put it on a card because it's just so pretty. So the metallic look is coming from this metallic watercolor set that I picked up, I don't even know, last spring, early spring, maybe even late winter. Forgot about, and then it came up when I was tidying up my craft room. So I thought, let's just do kind of a textured kind of collage-y card with some of these beautiful scraps. So this paper is from the pattern paper pack, and I'm going to kind of offset these 2 pieces so they're kind of framing the card-ish. My background is on that brown paper is the 3D embossing folder that came in this kit. So let's just, not kit, it feels like a kit, but let's just talk about everything that's in there. So there's the Serenade of Autumn chipboard embellishments, there's the die cuts, there's watercolor resist paper, which is what I used, this butterfly and this big circle, this butterfly, and more coming later. There's also the autumn vellum with gold foiling. Get out, it's so pretty. And then there's the Serenade of Autumn 6x6 paper pad, which is where I got this pretty paper from, as well as this really pretty blue paper, which I couldn't even throw away this tiny scrap. Look how pretty this is. When I flip it around, you can see. But it's that deep blue with that gold foiling on it. And even though you can't tell what it is because it's so small, it still is giving a little bit of flash with the bling, and it's just going to be fun on my background here. And I just have these little pieces kind of cut just a little wonky, and they're just gonna bring some life around. Like I said, this is a collage card, so it's going to be a little different, but that's okay. There's a big leaf on this piece, so that's kind of neat. All right. There's my background. Okay, there's also the Serenade of Autumn gems, which I love. Anytime where I can pick up these gems, I'm picking them up because there's gold flecks in there. They're not too bulky that when you stick them on a card, they're fine in the mail. And then there's also the Serenade of Autumn butterflies. These gorgeous things. They're simple as pie to stick on a card. You'll see how I do it in just a minute. It's basically a sticker, but it has the 3D look to it, which is always so fun. And then there's the Autumn Serenade embossing folder, which is what I showed in the beginning here. There's a layered sunflower stencil, which I have not tried yet, but it's very pretty. I'll pop a picture on the screen here. There's Sunflower Serenade, which is the stamp set, which I used a bunch, so you'll see that in a couple minutes here. And Serenade Sentiments, which I've used on other cards already. Basically, it has this beautiful font. Don't mind the watercolor that's now on my fingers, but beautiful scripty font, and then there's the shadow that goes behind there. There's a whole bunch of different words. I'll pop a picture of that on the screen here as well for you to see. Pop, like I'm just gonna pop it up from my hand, but Anyway, and then there's the autumn sealed sprigs, which I'm going to show you in just a minute, but it works really well with the wax seal. And speaking of wax seal, there's the sunflower wax seal. Here's a look at the seal itself and the stamp. Gorgeous. I made a whole bunch of these and I'm popping them on a whole bunch of these cards. Let's see. There's also sunflower greetings. No, that was the stamp set. I think I got everything. Wow. I think we're just going to move along. So let's just keep it going. All right. Well, I watercolored this with that really pretty metallic watercolor, and you can see the water has resisted on the spots that came watercolor resist paper-ish, if you will. Anyway, I die cut this big circle out with my circle die from the Postal Edge collection by Becca. I love that collection. I keep reaching for it almost every week. So yeah, it's a good one. I'm not going to be too crazy about making sure everything is flat. I kind of want it to kind of stick up a little, and that's kind of the look I'm going for. All right, so then I took a piece of pattern paper from like a scrap, if you will. You'll see in just a couple minutes there's this card with a bird, and this was a piece that was on the side. I took the little mini oval die from the Essential Ovals and die cut this out. We're just gonna stick it here. This is all about the collage, so it's just gonna be a little all over, if you will. Okay, then I have You Are My Sunshine. It's gonna go here and here, maybe. No, here and here. Sure, that works. You know, I have a plan, but then when I get around to filming, sometimes things change and move around, and I just kind of go with it. The die cut shapes are super gorgeous. They're huge this time. There's a lot of sentiments that are the big ones, and I am just leaning right into that, and I'm gonna pop these up with some foam. Now that I have all my foam on the back, I will just pop this on. Oh, I am just loving all of the texture and sparkle to this card. All right, to add more sparkle and texture, we're gonna add some really pretty butterflies here and some sequins and some gems because YOLO. All right, I just can't wait to show you all these cards that I have made. I'm so excited. I think you're gonna love them, and I would love for you to pick a favorite. So if you are watching, just take note, and maybe you can find a favorite somewhere in here, and that would be so fun to see in the comments. So make sure you let me know. Okay, now, all right, then I'm gonna put some little ones inside the big ones, and by ones I mean sequins. Can you hear that wind? You guys, the weather has been just my favorite. This video is going up next week, but right now it is finally colder in Minnesota. I have been sweating my life out this whole summer, and I am so over it. So I am just really loving the cooler weather and everything that the cooler weather brings. And I've all of a sudden decided that I like pumpkin flavored things, so I'm in my pumpkin era, if you will. And speaking of pumpkins, we all of a sudden have pumpkins growing on the side of our garage. Kind of weird, but I'll get into that story in just a minute. But let's just take a look at how pretty all the sparkles are. Yay! Oh, that is so pretty. I'm going to add just a teeny bit more liquid glue behind here so it stays down. Might have to adjust that. We'll see. Okay. Let's move on to my next card, which is a mini slimline, and I'll tell you about my pumpkins. Okay, well, first let's talk about this. This was some pattern paper from the card, keep wanting to say card kit, not card kit. Pattern paper from the pattern paper pack. Wow, I said that really fast. Cool. And then I'm going to take another circle die again from the Postal Edge collection. And this is what my butterfly is going to land on. So I'll put it right about there. and pop up my butterfly. This blue color is so pretty, and it works so well with all of the creams and the tans that we have going on this pattern paper. And all the rest of these pieces are from the die cut shapes. So if you're interested in remaking it, now you know. All right, let's talk about my pumpkins. So my husband is a farm boy through and through. I always call him Almanzo. If you know that reference, you're one of my kind of people, because you get it. But if you don't know, Almanzo is from Laura Ingalls Wilder, Farmer Boy. Yeah, Farmer Boy. It's a book. It's adorable. I highly recommend that book. It's a children's book. But yes, Almanzo, my farmer boy. Anyway, he composts, which good for him, for the environment, etc. Yay, Andrew. That's his real name, not Almanzo. But anyway, he composts, and last fall I bought some pumpkins from one of the local farms that we have in our area that has like a little pumpkin patch, and it's just adorable. Fairhaven Farms, shout out to you. Anyway, when winter was definitely rearing its ugly head, I took the pumpkin and delodged it from the icy sidewalk that it was sitting on outside of our house, and my husband said, hey, let's put that in the compost, which, okay, cool. So he did that, and now we have pumpkins, because apparently there's a ton of seeds in those rotting pumpkins that I pried off of my icy sidewalk, and they made more pumpkins. And if I can get my act together, I will take some pictures and put those on my Instagram if you're interested in seeing my pumpkins. But they're really pretty, and I have never grown pumpkins before, so that was kind of interesting. So my little volunteer pumpkins, if you will, are making fall even more happy for me, because they're beautiful. They're bright orange. I just have been feeling all the fall feels, if you will. Okay, this little mini slimline is perfect for maybe like a cash gift. So I think that happy birthday works well here. I'm not going to put foam tape underneath here. I want the wings to be lifted, but I don't want it to be kind of competing too much with this main butterfly, because it's so gorgeous. Alrighty, let's get into some A2 size cards. I'm going to do 2 here on camera for you. The whole look of this fall serenade, or autumn serenade, it to me feels like a card kit, but it's even better than a card kit because it has so much to it. It has a wax seal, it has sprigs, it has 3D stickers, gems, sequins, embossing folder. It has so much. So I am just loving it, and I'm loving all the mixing and matching that I can do here. All right, well, again, back to that Postal Edge collection. I used one of the A2 size card bases for that because I wanted this pattern paper, which is stunning. I wanted it to be centered. So you can see there's little dots around the edge here, but look at how shiny that is. Oh, I'm a crow. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and pop this on the card base, and yep, I'm gonna have to trim because card bases are a little off, but that's life. I'm trying to use up some of my old ones. I bought some really nice ones on Amazon, which have been fabulous, and I don't have to do any of that extra little weird trimming, at least not that I've noticed. Then with these pieces, I die cut them out with my oval die, and this gold glimmered vellum is so gorgeous, and I didn't have to do anything at all to it. It just came that way. So that is fabulous. Although I would love this glimmer plate. So if they ever come out with a glimmer plate like this, look at how detailed and just delicate all of that is. It's so pretty. And then with the blue, get out. It's gorgeous. And I'm sad that I have to cover it up, but that is life. Ooh, I'm not gonna want to pop this on yet. Okay, I got all distracted by the shiny foil, and I need to just kind of take a second here. So I'm using my anti-static pouch on my tape here because I don't need it sticky yet. Ooh, that is a dusty. not in the fun way. Okay. If you're a foil person, you know what I mean by dusty. Okay. Recollect. Let's get my little pieces ready before I do more with those ovals. So I have my little sealed twine here, which I'm going to wrap around my oval. And then I have my little sprigs here, which are from this collection. So I'm going to add these on to my sprigs. I think this is kind of like a wheat looking sprig. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I ended up gluing 2 of these together because I ran out of my paper that matches this color. And now I have to figure out which one goes where. That doesn't seem right. Must be in this one. Had a bit of a blonde moment there. Okay, we're all set. I can say that because I'm blonde. If you're offended, I'm sorry. You're beautiful, you're blonde, whatever. Okay, and then this piece goes on the other side. Again, I'm putting the glue on the front so it sticks to the back of the other piece. Now that I have my sprigs all taken care of, I will just try to arrange them how I want. Let's see what I am feeling. I think it's probably best to put some double-sided tape on the back of this vellum so we can get that secure. So I'm going to do that first. No, you can't see it on the other side. It's no biggie. Nice and clear. Alrighty. So with my flowers, for some reason I lost the center of this flower. I don't know, maybe I was just die cutting a whole bunch. I prepped this card last week, so I don't remember what I was thinking all the way back then. So I don't know, we might just kind of tuck it behind another flower area here and just not have the center show. We'll see what I can come up with, but I'm loving the way that this is looking right now. It's just very sweet, very elegant looking, and I like that it's kind of a bundle. I did learn a little trick. I guess it wasn't really out of anything besides my own brain, but sometimes I like the way it looks up top, and then underneath the seal I don't like the way that all the sprigs lay. So the one time last week when I was working with some wax seals and I didn't like how it was looking on the bottom, I just cut it off and then I re-glued it underneath the wax seal. It just kind of worked. I don't know how else to really say it, but it did work. But it was just kind of a weird moment for me. Okay, there's that. Oh, we have the wheat. I think this is wheat. If it's not, sorry. I want this behind the flowers, so let's just hope for the best, as usual. Okay, I think I like my little bundle here. I'm going to get the bundle glued down with, actually we're going to use double-sided adhesive. Probably not what most would do, but it's going to hold for just a second here. Okay, I'll put that flower in later, but we'll just get this down next. Okay, liquid glue, get it on there, and get my twine going. Now my twine die here, this is from Spellbinders 2. If you're wax sealing, you're going to want this die. I'm not trying to like sell it to you, but I'm just saying I use this all the time, so you're going to want it. I used Spellbinders new glitter paper for this, and I'm loving the way it's looking right now. I'm going to let that just sit for just a minute or two, and then I will wrap it around and pop my wax seal on. As I let this glue just set for just a couple more minutes, I am going to take this time and use my shovel on my tool-in-one and just put a little bit of liquid glue underneath where some of these little pieces are going to be popping up. I do like to let some of them be a little more free, but I think that sometimes a little glue is needed just so they're not flying off the card, which I probably need to go back and fix some of my old wax seal cards because I haven't done this before, and I think it just helps kind of secure things where they need to. So we're going to do that, but not on camera. And then I'm going to slide this little flower in maybe about here and just kind of give the illusion that it's behind there. But I don't know, whatever this thing is, it looks like a sprouting acorn. I'm sure it's some kind of flower, but it just kind of looks cute. So it's going to be center stage. All right, that's there. And then we'll kind of turn things. I really shouldn't have put that adhesive under before, but such is life. Live and learn. I think I already said that this video, so now you know. I say it a lot, but it's true. Lifelong learning. Anyway. All right. Well, okay. Next, I'll pop this on my card. I think I will use my tape again. I don't know how I still have this blue tape around, but I do. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know I've bought this in bulk, and I have a lot of these, so we're using it up. All right. That looks pretty center to me. Next, the exciting part, my wax seal. I'm going to use liquid glue to put this wax seal on because I'm sticking it on to the glitter paper, which has a lot of texture, and that's going to work really well with my liquid glue. It's just going to seep into those little nooks and crannies that the glitter paper has, and my wax seal is a really smooth surface, so sometimes I will just kind of take my pokey part of my two-in-one and scratch up the back. Careful not to poke it through, but that just kind of helps the glue kind of get into the nooks and crannies of the wax seal, and it won't be popping off. But there's also these little stickers you can buy that are like an adhesive sticker that work well too. And this is just what I do because my Barely Art liquid glue is just everything, so I just love it so much. Okay, I plan to use my butterflies on this card, but I feel like they're a little too big. I don't want them to really compete with my wax seal too much, and I think that would look a little odd. So these ladies are going to have to go on something else, but let's finish off this card with a bit of bling. Should we use sequins? Let's use sequins just for fun. And I'm going to use the ones from the Autumn Serenade. These are kind of like a blue, almost pastel blue-white. And I think they look really cute there. And then I'm also going to put a tiny one in the big sequins. Okay, we're going to need more glue. Going to need a bigger boat. It is just so pleasant having the windows open and having fresh, crisp fall air come into my house, and I just love it. My allergies have finally subsided. Thank you. And now I can breathe again. Ironic. I can breathe a little better and things are going well. All right, there it is. That is so pretty. Okay, let's just do one more for camera for you all, and then I'll show you all the other ones I made. I made a whole bunch, so hope you have a snack or something that you can... Oh, look at there. There's my center for the other sunflower, or daisy, or whatever that was. Wasn't meant to be. Alrighty. Okay, so for the background on this, I used some gold embossing powder and heat embossed the background with the help of my 3D embossing folder die. It was the, let's see, the notched corner one that just came out with the Christmas set. But you know what? I don't think that it's just for Christmas. So I'm using it on this fall card, and that's going to be okay. Anytime there's a lot of texture from these embossing folders, I like to use my liquid glue because I think it just helps set the edge on to the card a little bit better. Don't wiggle too much though. All right, then I'm going to use my little layered panel that I made here. So you can see the edges are a little bit different. I had 2 of these brown pieces, but I didn't have one piece that was big enough to go around my green piece. So I chose to use 2 of those little ones and make kind of an interesting little corner moment here. So that was a little different for me, but you know what? You use what you got, and I like the way it looks when it's done. So that's pretty nice. I don't see a right or a wrong way for this paper. Oh, maybe this is the right way up. Yes. Okay. We're going to go with that right about there. Just planning out my sunflower here. Then I am going to build my sunflower. Now the sunflower was part of its own little die, and you can make a sunflower with leaves and a center. I think I'm going to build the sunflower off of the card and then pop it onto the card when it's all finished. So I went dark to light with my sunflower colors here. You can see it kind of goes in that direction. This paper I know was from Spellbinders. This one was not. And this yellow is that sun-kissed yellow color, but I think all together it's going to look really cool. A lot of layers here, people. If you're watching this part of the video where I'm kind of like in the meat and potatoes of it all, you are just the MVP, because you're not skipping through. You're watching all the silliness and hearing the weird stories and life updates, so you're the real MVP. Okay, speaking of MVP, I released a collection with Spellbinders, all sports themed, in September last month, called Game Day. And I have been so blown away at all the support and all of the amazing things people have been making with it. So if you have either supported me by watching any of those videos, or maybe you picked up one of the bundles, thank you so much. And I really do appreciate you. And I love seeing your creations. So keep on posting those creations, and I can't wait to see even more things that people make. I had a bit of sad news this week. Yesterday I found out that my collection has now been ripped off by AliExpress, so I'm not happy about that. Yeah, that fart noise with my mouth is all I can really say on camera. That's family friendly. I am not happy about that, but I really can't do anything about it because there's nothing that I can do. So it just really stinks, and that's life. But you know what? What goes around comes around, and yes, I and Spellbinders worked hard to release that collection, and if someone's going to make money off of our labors and whatever, that's their own fault, and I can't control that. So yeah. It's always good when I end a sentence with, so yeah. Anyway, not happy about that, but again, overwhelmed with other support that I've gotten, and the video hop did really well, and I'm just gotta look on the happy bright side, so at least I try. And other exciting news, I've been asked to join the admin team for the Foiling Snobs Club, which has been so exciting. I've been friends with those crafters for a couple months now, and I was on Stamp Wars 31, which was so fun. So if you missed that, make sure you check out Stamp Wars 31. If you just put it into the YouTube search, it should pop up. But it's on Nancy Stamp's channel, and I've just been kind of learning the ropes of what they want me to do and what I can do to help their group out, and gained a few new crafty friends along the way, so I'm really honored to be part of that. I'm also so excited because my friend Melanie Smith from Melanie Stamps and I have started another group, but together. I know all these Facebook groups, right? But it's fun to connect. So I love that part of Facebook. But anyway, we started a new Facebook group called Better Press Babes. And if you want to be a Better Press Babe, go ahead and join us. It's kind of a fun new page that her and I started for all things Better Press. So Better Press with the Better Press machine, Better Press with Glimmer, Better Press with adding other fun stuff on it, all things Better Press. So I am just super excited for all of our endeavors together. So stay tuned for more. Now, just looking at this card and looking at the sentiment, I know exactly who I'm going to give this card to. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. And I think she'll really like this card. So anyway. Okay, I'm going to clean up my desk and then I will pop right back on here and show you all of the other cards I've made with the Autumn Serenade, one of my favorite collections that have come out from Spellbinders in the recent months. Now that I have had a chance to clean off my area, which it looks so pretty and new practically, this glass mat has been wonderful. It's from glassboardstudio.com. Not sponsored, just telling you how it is. Anyway, here is one of the cards that I made. Again, pattern paper from the collection. This is sunflower die from the collection. These gems also from the collection. This die that I used to cut out to make the square behind it is the Postal Edge square. This twine is from Dollar Tree. Shout out to Dollar Tree. Used to be Dollar Tree, now it's $1.25 Tree. Just saying. Anyway, here is another card. With this one, I used the trusty method of using a mask stamp. So I stamped out the sunflower with full sheet Post-it notes. I think I have them here. There are full adhesive on the whole back. So I have a lot of them here. But basically it just covers up the stamped area so you can stamp and layer. So I would stamp this one. I kind of worked my way from right to left here. And then I covered up this one, stamped this guy, then covered up this one, stamped this one, covered up this one, stamped that one, and I can reuse this over and over. It still is pretty tacky, so I could even still use it again today if I wanted to. Anyway, I stamped this out with some oxide ink. I used the Vintage Photo, which is always one of my faves, and then just lightly colored with Copics and got kind of a vintage look. Then with this one, again, I used my little masking cover, if you will, and just kind of did a wash on the back with some watercolor, and then I added the stamp from the stamp set, and some of these blobs are also from the stamp set. These sentiments also from the stamp set, and then I took some of the sequins and added a bit of bling. You can see some of the gold little dots there. I used this gold paint pen. This one I don't prefer using for wax seals, but I have it, so I decided I'd use it on the card as a little bit of bling in the background. This one is more of a soft pumpkin thankful card. I utilized the pattern paper that came in the pack, and then I have the embossing folder on the background as well. The thankful sentiment is from Autumn Sentiments. It's the one that has all the words, and then the For You is a chipboard sticker. So thankful for you, which I am. And then this one, again, I used the masking method on here. Just made a little sunflower scene below, and then I have this grateful, sending seeds of happiness and love. A very simple one, but I enjoyed coloring that a lot. This one, again, was kind of a card kit collage kind of inspired card, and it is full of gold foil. If you can see how pretty that is, I just am loving all of the gold tones, and it looks really good with that blue pattern paper. So just stunning. Okay, My next one is the little bird card, which I told you at the beginning. You'd see my little bird. So here he is. And I used the sentiment for you and added some bling and a couple die cut pieces and made this little simple for you card. So there's a look at all the ones oh no, I have 3 more. Even more. Okay. My next one, I used the watercolor resist pattern paper. This is not pattern paper, the watercolor resist paper. This is what I used for my scrap on the first card, but you can see here's the full sheet of it, and then a little bit of vellum that I stamped with the stamp set. It is kind of flying away here, so I am just going to take a little bit of that tape runner and ta-da, it is fixed. All right. And then this one, again, the background, I used the watercolor resist paper and just did a kind of goldy red kind of background, and then added some a chipboard sentiment, chipboard stickers, and then some die cut shapes. And I popped this wax seal on with a little chipboard birdie. So cute. I know some people have like a thing about wax seals being just popped on a card. I love it popped on a card. I also love it being used to hold it all together like this one. I get it. There's a little bit of a difference there, but I love both of them, so we're just gonna go with that. And then the last card I made off camera was this one. I just wanted the pattern paper to do all the work for me. Look at that. Already foiled, ready to go for me, and then I just simply stamped Embrace the Day, and it is very kind of dark on the background, but it does show up in real life. I'm looking at it on camera and it's kind of dark, but it's there, and in real life it looks pretty good. And then I have my gold mirror cardstock going around, and I just think that is such a pretty, elegant card. And then here are the other 2 that I made on camera, like you saw. So, man, my desk is getting full here. Okay, what is your favorite? I don't know. I think I have a few this time. So, I would say that my 5x7 one is one of my favorites. And this one, oh, I don't know, because I love the wax seal. All right, I'm having 3 favorites this time. I know, these are my 3 favorites. Anyway, let me know in the comments which one is yours. Maybe it's similar to mine, I don't know. But let me know, and I hope you have a very happy start to your autumn season. We'll see you next time, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.